Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use a fireball dual Yeti attack here at Townhall 17 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition that we are going to be using today, and of course the main focus at the start is going to be on that Grand Warden and his fireball, looking to pick up as much value as we can on that. Don't worry, I will talk you guys through exactly how to use it. The next stage, it's going to be pretty simple. You're basically just going to be spamming in the rest of your troops, your 3 Yetis and your 3 Super Yetis, combining to crush through the back end. So let's jump in and we'll break this one down. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is of course identify which section of the base we're going to be using that fireball on, and typically there's a couple of very important buildings you're going to want to look to take down. Those of course include things like the monolith, inferno towers, scatter shots, and even the town hall itself. Those of course include things like the clan castle. If you can get the clan castle with your fireball, that's absolutely going to be of benefit. Also looking to take down scatter shots, of course they're very deadly. The monolith itself, which can be pretty deadly coming in against Yetis. Even things like single target infernos is always going to be nice. So let's jump in and we'll break this one down. So we kick off proceedings by bringing that Grand Warden in from this bottom section of the base. Of course, you're going to want to make sure, first things first, he is set to ground. You're coming in with a Grand Warden walk, which means he is not going to be able to be healed if he is set to air. So that's the first thing you want to make sure you're checking. Set him to ground and then you can get cracking with the rest of your attack. We're going to be bringing the unicorn through on him just for a bit of added healing. We're also then going to be bringing in the healers of course on him, all 5 of those. Continuing to push on through here, we actually brought in quite a few of those early balloons, not only to test for any seeking air mines, but also to help redirect the Grand Warden on straight away to those defenses. And now we're going to be coming in with that fireball. Now it's important to remember, if you haven't used the fireball before, basically your Grand Warden will send that fireball to the closest available defense. And for us here, that could easily be the air defense, which is just above him. There's also multiple all the way around him. So by using those invisibility spells like we have, that should redirect his fireball onto the closest defense, which hopefully for us here should be that multi-archer tower. So let's go ahead, fire that fireball, it's going to go off, and then we're going to use the double earthquake spell to take out those defenses, which is then going to take out the clan castle as well. Continuing to push on through, we're then going to be progressing onto the next stage of our attack, which is going to be bringing the rest of those troops in. Our king, our queen, all of our Yetis are going to be coming in, Super Yetis and regular Yetis, a couple of Coco Loons if you have any remaining, as well as of course those super wall breakers to get you into those first couple of compartments. We have that siege barracks, going to be our siege machine of choice, coming in from that right hand side of the base, helping to create the funnel over there, hopefully maintaining that funnel through into the core of the base for you. Bringing that jump spell in for the next portion of the attack gives your king, your queen, your everything access into the core of the base. Though remember, you do have those earthquake boots of course on your king, so keep that in the back of your mind. The next stage of our attack is going to be a royal champion. She's going to be coming in with those earthquake boots for a bit of initial damage as you bring in the spirit fox as well. You can then pop her ability, bring in that spears. They're going to be flying all the way through onto that inferno tower, helping to take that down. And then you just continue smashing through the rest of the base. Remember, when you're dropping down your rage spells for this attack, you want to make sure you're trying to catch the healers as well, just to allow them to really get the maximum amount of healing done as you progress through the core. The queen's ability pretty much gets swagged right here. You'll see we do have the magic mirror as well as the giant, but neither of them were really even needed. Completely and utterly crushed. We even swag a couple of spells on this one, and it's absolutely dominant, bringing in a beautiful 3-star there to kick off proceedings. So progressing through onto the next one, we have a much more centralized clan castle, which means we're probably not going to be able to get our fireball to it. It would just be far too complicated. So this time we are going to have to opt to go for a slightly different area of the base, and it's going to be over from this left hand side. We have the rage tower with the single target inferno, the flame spitter, we have the scatter shot in there as well. There's multiple high value defenses that of course it would be lovely ability to try and take down with our Grand Warden. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, get him going in, trying to take down as many of these buildings as possible with our fireball. Now there is a very small chance, if we can get it right, it might just clip the Clan Castle, but I'm highly doubtful of that. But so far so good. The Grand Warden going to be clearing out this left hand side of the base. There is the earthquake spells coming through, and there is the fireball. Taking care of that, we didn't need the additional earthquake spell, sorry, because we weren't taking down anything with too much HP. You can always use the fireball first, use one earthquake, see if it's enough, and then use another. Or sometimes, like we did just there, you can actually use the earthquake spell first, and then you can bring the fireball in, just so you can get a much more accurate representation of if you need to use that second spell or not. The rest of our troops now going to be coming in because we have begun to create that funnel down on the bottom section of the base. The good thing about this one is, because it's an all ground based army, those wizards as well as the Yetis that come out of, or sorry, the P.E.K.K.A.s that come out of that siege barracks can combine with our Yetis and Super Yetis to push through into the core of the base without just getting sniped off one by one themselves. They've at least got a bit of a combination going on. King unfortunately going to wander off by himself straight into the path of a single target Inferno, so we'll see his ability getting popped off right there. The spiky ball absolutely OP, able to really help him push through some of those back end defenses with them, clearing them in that beautiful one shot. Phoenix going to bring him back up as well as the Town Hall does go down. Town Hall going down secures that second star, and still our troops are pushing on through. And you'll notice so far we haven't actually used our Royal Champion. There is a chance we could use it over on that left hand side, but in this one I know for a fact we're going to end up completely swagging the Royal Champion. We have absolutely no need for it, so we don't end up deploying it. We're going to have the rest of our troops. We have our Queen in there. We have our Grand Warden still going strong with the Unicorn on him. You'll see we did, of course, have those super minions coming out of that siege barracks on the back end, just for a little bit of cleanup. But the fact that we have entirely swagged multiple troops, our Queen's ability, our full Royal Champion without even deploying her, and multiple spells. Yeah, I feel like I keep saying how strong this strategy is, but my goodness, this strategy is strong. And pushing through onto that third and final attack, again coming in with that Grand Warden, of course, to start. Typically you're always going to be starting with your Grand Warden because it's the slowest part of your attack and it's the most important for helping to set up that funnel. Be very, very careful, of course, when you're using those invisibility spells, just so you can make sure you get them down on the buildings you want. But we were a little bit off there. Unfortunately, that second earthquake spell, we spammed them in slightly too quickly, which meant we didn't take down the Clan Castle. It's got literally 1 HP, but unfortunately even that means that those Clan Castle troops will still come out. So it's not the ideal situation for us here, but it's about how we react to it. We are going to, of course, have to deal with those Clan Castle troops, but regardless, we're still going to approach this the exact same way. Our Fireball still got a good bit of value, not quite as much as we were hopefully looking for, but we're still going to push on through. Siege Barracks going to be coming in from that top section of the base. We had one Yeti coming in just as a bit of a support as well. And the rest of our troops are going to be pushing through here in towards this first couple of compartments. Super Wallbreaker coming on through, opens up that compartment. We have those Cocoa Loons coming in. Those help to test for any Seeking Air Mines, which potentially could take down our healers. Super Yetis, regular Yetis, all going to be pushing on through. That jump spell giving us access into the core, though that jump spell typically is going to be much better served on the back end of the base because you're ideally going to use that King's ability in the core, and 9 times out of 10, because he's deployed pretty early, he's actually going to end up auto popping that ability anyway. Cocoa Loon's going to be coming on through, like I said, and even if they don't catch any black bombs, they're still going to be able to get a little bit of value, hopefully, for us, taking down 1 or 2 defenses. Pushing through into the back end, we don't quite get to the Town Hall probably in the optimal time. Now we just need to deal with it. We just like to swag spells on this channel, so you can see we do have that swag free spell on the back end. Complete misclick right there. That probably would have been better served going down on the Town Hall itself. But here comes that Royal Champion. Unfortunately, we're not quite able to fully swag her on this one like we did in the previous, but we're still going to come in with that Rocket Spear, of course. they're going to get flung all the way through, dealing with the scatter shot, the expo right there. I believe we took down an air defense as well. So just pushing all the way through is going to guarantee this a 3-star on the back end. The invisibility spells, if you have any left over from that initial fireball, can be used to help protect up your royal champion as she progresses through the back end of the base. But multiple troops left up, multiple swag spells, and a very good strategy. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. As always, the link for it is down in the description below if you'd like to pick that up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.